Hey, how's it going? Reece here. In this video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 cold email tools to be using in 2023. Right now, we're receiving on average anywhere between a 3 to 5% meeting book rate. I'm going to show you exactly how we do that when it comes to the tools that we use to book the amount of meetings that we are booking right now. This month, we're projecting at least around 30 meetings in total. But again, as I said, we get really anywhere between a 3 to 5% meeting book rate. So when it comes down to the tools that we use for cold email, it's important to make sure that we use the right ones because there's so many out there. And I want to preface this by saying that this is what works for us. There are a lot of tools out there. Some tools, somebody's going to recommend that you should use Lemlist or use something else or, whatever it may be. And I'm going to recommend what we use, what works for us, what works for the 50 plus agencies that we work with. We all use these tools. So I'm going to show you exactly how we use them, what kind of tools we use, what we use them for, etc. And I'm going to break this down into 4 main categories: lead sourcing, data verification, email sending, and your CRM/scheduler, which is just making sure that we can get the calls actually booked in and ultimately get people booked into the calendar. Obviously, I help agency owners, so this is mostly for agency owners, but anybody doing B2B outreach with cold email, this will apply for. So let's get into it. The very first thing that we want to talk about is lead sourcing. Now, lead sourcing for us, we split this into 2 main categories of itself. So firstly, we've got finding the businesses in the first place, which is actually finding the leads, and then we've got finding the email addresses. Now, when it comes to lead sourcing for a cold email campaign, we use Apollo to find the businesses, and we use we use Find Email to find the email addresses. Now, as a quick caveat to that, I'm giving you the 5 main tools that we use, but there are a bunch of other lead sourcing tools that we use. I may create another video in the future where I go through and actually explain all of the different ways that we do lead sourcing, because there's a bunch. But the number 1 that we use is Apollo. We also use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, which is pretty standard tool. But Apollo, really, really great tool. I think it's got the largest database of contacts, or one of the largest databases in the world. I wouldn't necessarily say it's pricey. I mean, I guess it's not so cheap either. I think we pay around $97 a month for it. What is that? We pay $99. We got the professional plan, so we pay around $99 a month. But with that, we get unlimited access to everything that we need. And we can basically, the way that we use Apollo is that we go ahead, we create the account, we get the subscription, we scrape a bunch of leads that will last us a few months, and then you can just cancel Apollo again. So literally, we'll just come in 1 month, set it up. It's active right now, for example. We'll scrape a bunch of leads, so we have thousands and thousands of leads. We'll email them over the next few months, and then when we need more leads again, we can just come back to Apollo, open it back up, and scrape more. It's really, really simple approach in the way that works. So Apollo itself, really, really great tool. Using Apollo, you've got a bunch of filters that you can use. So if you're targeting, whatever your niche is, you'll be able to target directly the niche based on keywords. So for example, let's just say that you work in the legal niche and you target lawyers, but specifically you want to make a campaign that targets personal injury lawyers. Then you can use and you can look for keywords around personal injury, and you can find specific law firms that only work with personal injury. What do they call them? Forgot the word now, but personal injury plaintiffs or something like that. People that have a personal injury case. You could also, if you want to do like business law, then you can specifically use keywords that target business law firms, and you'll be able to find those. So it makes it really, really easy to narrow down specifically on who you want to target, which is going to be better when it comes to segmentation of your campaigns. So Apollo is a great tool for finding businesses. We don't use the email addresses that Apollo give. I find that sometimes that's where they slip a little bit and they're not so great at that. So what we use for actually finding the email addresses, we use Find Email. Find Email is I would still say it's a relatively unknown email address provider, like Finder, whatever you want to call it. But what I love about Find Email is that it automatically verifies the information for you. So usually what happens is you'll go use another tool like Snove or Hunter or something like that, and you'll go and you'll find the email addresses, but then you'll have to take that list and you'll have to pop it into an email data verifier or cleaner to then go ahead and verify the data as well. Whereas what Find Email does, that's FINDYMAIL, Find Email. What it does is allows you to go ahead and find a bunch of email addresses that are actually verified in the first place. Okay, so it makes it so much easier for you, makes it so that your deliverability is going to be better. Especially you're going to have already a warmed up email address, but you're going to make sure here that you're actually emailing people that actually exist. Email addresses that are legit, that they work, they're verified, and they're good to go. So you can just do that. What we do is Apollo and Sales Navigator work really, really well with Find Email. They've got an integration, so they work there with a Chrome extension. So what we do is we'll go and we'll use like Sales Navigator or Apollo, and then we'll grab a list. It will go straight into Find Email, and it automatically does it for you. It's really, really convenient. I believe with Find Email, they even have an integration with Instantly, so you can just basically, you click a button on like Sales Navigator on Apollo, and it automatically goes to Find Email, and then from Find Email automatically goes to Instantly. It's not a feature that we use, but it is a feature that you can use with Find Email. And again, it's my favorite tool just because it generally means that you're going to get more valid emails, and more valid emails means a higher deliverability rate, better deliverability, which naturally means that you're actually sending to people that exist and are part of your audience in the first place, and you're going to get better results. So a lot of a quick side note, but when it comes to cold email, a lot of people focus on the campaign and things like that, like the exterior facing stuff. But the most important thing is what you're putting in the system in the first place, which is the quality of the data. So if you're putting bad data in, i.e. email addresses that don't work, then you're not actually going to get any good results in the first place. Okay, so keep that in mind. So you want to make sure that you're actually emailing people that exist with valid emails, and make sure that they actually would be interested in the offer that you're putting across. And using Apollo and using Find Email, it makes it really, really easy to do that. Now, if we are not using Find Email, so obviously we use Find Email, which automatically verifies for you, but if you're not using Find Email, and if you're getting your leads from a different source, for example, sometimes we get data miners, which are people that we hire to go out there, grab us leads, and then give it to us. In those scenarios, we always check the list over and we clean it with a tool such as Neverbounce. Now, there are so many different tools out there when it comes to actually verifying email addresses and finding out if they are good to go. But Neverbounce is the best platform that we found. It works really, really well. I, again, wouldn't say it's expensive. I mean, when you are doing this stuff, especially if you're getting a good meeting book rate, this stuff is really, really cheap in accordance to the ROI that you'll be getting. So Neverbounce, really, really cheap. I think it's like 0.008 cents per lead or something, like less than a penny. So really, really cheap, and just a great tool all around. Neverbounce, what it will do is you grab a list, you upload the list to Neverbounce. It's going to clean it, and it's going to tell you which of those email addresses are good to use, which ones you shouldn't use, and which ones are a little bit risky. I.e. they might work, but they might not. And side note for those, I would just put them in a new campaign or send them via a separate email address, so like it's more of a burner. And that way you can make sure that your deliverability is going to be better by only emailing people and only uploading the people that are actually verified to your main campaign. Okay, hope that makes sense. So we use Apollo and Find Email for finding the email addresses. Once we found the email addresses, we'll use Neverbounce for data verification, verifying and cleaning the list. Again, if we're using Find Email, we won't use Neverbounce as well. It will be then in that case one or the other. For actual email sending, we use Instantly. Instantly is a great tool. We used to use Lemlist, but we got to a point where we're just sending so many emails a day with so many different email lists that Lemlist gets very, very expensive. So now we use Instantly. With Instantly, you can upload as many email addresses as you want. I can't click it right now, the looms in the way. But we've got a bunch of different accounts there. I think like 10 or 12 or so. We use Instantly. As you can see right now, we're getting around a 3% meeting book rate. But we also need to actually upload more leads, which is going to happen tomorrow, which is the thing. Don't copy that mistake. Make sure that you are continuously uploading leads. So you're always good to go. I uploaded 261 just as a quick test to see how this campaign worked. It worked really, really well. We need to just keep putting leads in because of how good it's working right now. But the main thing that I'm trying to communicate here is Instantly is an amazing, amazing tool for sending emails. I personally don't have experience using it for finding leads, although they do have a feature. On Instantly, you can actually use it now to find the leads that you're looking for. But I would recommend give it a test. See how it works. For us, I haven't tried it just because we've got so many leads that we've got literally thousands and thousands in a list ready for us to reach out to. And using Apollo and Find Email just works really, really well. So instantly, for convenience sake, you may want to give it a try, but I don't know what their data is going to be like. I've heard good things, I've heard not so great things. So give it a test yourself. And that's always the best thing to do, is give it a test yourself and see how it comes out. The last thing, well, by now you would have been able to source emails from Apollo and Find Email. You would clean the data via Neverbounce. You'd be able to send the emails via instantly. And the last thing is making sure that you've got a scheduler, meaning somebody somewhere that people can actually go and book in a call with you. A CRM, so you can actually track the engaged leads. And for that, we use GoHighLevel. Now, there are a bunch of options out there. If you're on a bit more of a budget option right now, then I would go for maybe Airtable, which can be free, or Trello, which again can be free. I wouldn't use Google Sheets or anything like that. It's a little bit too amateurish, but Trello and Airtable is what we were using before. We were using Trello, then Airtable, and nowadays we use Airtable and GoHighLevel. We use them interchangeably because I love Airtable, and GoHighLevel just works really, really well for us because it's got everything all together. With GoHighLevel, we use the CRM, we've got the scheduler, we've got the website. So as a quick example, if I go to like our main page where people book on calls right now, which is this one right here, you can actually go ahead. This scheduler is set up on GoHighLevel. This entire page is on GoHighLevel, and then people can come here right here. They can book in a call. You can see that we're booked out right now, so there's no slots for calls. Or actually, no, there are a few. I don't know why that took a minute to load. But you can go here, you can book in a call. Works really easy, and that's on GoHighLevel. So we use GoHighLevel to send the scheduler link to people. We also use GoHighLevel as a CRM. I filtered this so you don't see the results, but this is how we use GoHighLevel, where there's a bunch of different things right here. This is the CRM. So if people respond to a cold email, we'll go ahead. If they respond positively to a cold email, we'll go ahead and we'll add them into GoHighLevel. You can also automate this. You can get this automated using Instantly, Zapier, and then GoHighLevel. Right now, we just do it manually. Considering the fact that we are going to scale the campaign, we will automate it because that would make way more sense. But I guess there you go. There's a bonus little tool for you, Zapier. Zapier is really, really great for automation. But GoHighLevel, again, we use it for the website, CRM Scheduler. We use it for so many different things. I would say the most important thing is, people always think about actually booking meetings, but what happens between the meeting and the call is making sure that people actually show up. And that's the number one reason that I like GoHighLevel, because it's all in one place. You can get people to show up. You can send text messages from GoHighLevel, email addresses, and a bunch of other cool stuff. I'm pretty sure you've all heard of GoHighLevel before. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing tool. Look, I've been using this for years, so I can pretty much, any questions that you've got on GoHighLevel, just comment them below, because I can definitely answer them and help you out with it, because GoHighLevel is just a great, great tool. And I've just touched the surface today on what you can actually use it for, but there's so many different things. Really, really great tool. So yeah, those are the top 5 tools. I gave you a couple bonuses there, but essentially the top 5 tools that we use for cold email. We use Apollo for finding businesses, Find Email for finding email addresses, Neverbounce for verifying and cleaning the list, Instantly.ai for email sending, and GoHighLevel when it comes to the CRM and the scheduler. That's it. And if you got good tools, that's the first step. You got to make sure that having the tools is the one thing, right? But if you just come today and you look at these tools and you get started, doesn't mean that you're going to be like an expert right away, which is the thing. Always know the tools that you're working with, right? When it comes down to marketing, you need marketing and anything really, I think. Like, we don't use a lot of tools, so we want to make sure the tools that we do use, we know them really, really well inside out. And that way, when we think, I need to do this one thing, whatever it is that you need to do, it's easier to know how to do it specifically because you actually have familiarization, or you're familiar. I don't know if familiarization is a word, but you'll be more familiar with the software, the tools. It's easier to use. So if I can instill like a final message today, really just make sure that you're actually knowing the tools inside out that you're using so you can use them to the greatest extent possible. But those are the 5 main tools that we use. If you are an agency owner that's looking to book more meetings and you're not quite happy with the results that you're currently getting in terms of how many meetings you're booking, click the link down below. It'll be the first link in the description. It will take you to the page that you saw earlier in the video. There's a video there. It tells you a little bit more about what we do, how we help people, the results we've got, etc., etc. If If you're interested in getting help, click the link. If not, it's totally fine. Just click the subscribe button instead. Subscribe to the channel. Keep up with these videos, and these videos alone will be able to help you grow your agency just as long as you watch them and you take action. I will also leave the links down below so you can go ahead and grab these tools pretty easily. They are going to be affiliate links, but ultimately, if you're interested and you want them, you can just type them into Google as well and you know, join them. But they're very, very good tools. It's what we use. They work very well. I hope you found this video valuable. If you've got any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next video. Take care and have a great rest of your day.